Hi, welcome to Mimi in the Kitchen, a special edition. Not really a special edition, just a special time. So today we are making zucchini lasagna. I love lasagna. I got a recipe for zucchini lasagna from a girlfriend of mine a while ago, and I never made it. And I was talking to some girls over the weekend at baseball, and that's who I am dedicating this show to, Tatum and Devin. And I said, what is your favorite food? And one of them said, lasagna. And I said, oh my gosh, I really have been wanting to make zucchini lasagna. Do you like that? She was like, I love zucchini lasagna. Guess what, guys? I've never made it. So if you are ready to watch a perfectly sliced zucchini, this is not the place to be for you. I'm going to do my best. Actually, some of them have come out really darn good. I want to show you the ingredients very quickly of this recipe, just in case you love or hate them. But it's always good for you guys. I've been getting some tips from some people, and this is a tip to show the ingredients at the beginning of the show. So there you go. Those are the ingredients. Now, you can do a lot of different things with this. First of all, I bought this really fancy mandolin and I was slicing them all up and they are not turning out good. So I have this old school slicer, and that was the first thing I did, because when you work with zucchini like this, you want to make sure that it's very thin. And then you want to bake it, because you want to get some of, well, first of all, you want to make it a little soft. Second of all, you want to get some of that moisture out of there, so you can even pat it, because I have some that I've already done. You could pat it after it's already cooked with paper towels so that there's not too much moisture. So that is your first step, is you're going to take your zucchini and you are going to slice it as thin as you can. Be careful, these guys are sharp, so make sure that you don't cut yourself, so you really have to be careful. That's why I bought this really fancy one, because it has this thing to protect your fingers, and I'm like, seriously, it is not working for me. Maybe it's just me, which definitely is a possibility, or it's the darn thing. So what I have over here, I do want to show you this because I know it's kind of weird, but I really like to eat raw vegetables. I mean, my goodness gracious, I'm losing weight. So over here, I have some zucchini that I've already baked. And then on here, it's kind of my scrap pile. And to be honest with you, I've been tasting this and kind of munching on it while I've been doing this, because I am so hungry. So I baked, and I'll put this recipe obviously out on the internet, on my website, as well as Facebook. So I have baked this zucchini on 400 for about 15 minutes. First I do it for 10 because I can't just do it, for 15. I gotta always do it like halvesies. And then I'm taking this off, and I know you guys can't see this, but I'm putting it on a paper towel so that it kind of gets the moisture out. Oh good, thank you. But not too much because it shakes. So we don't, whoa, I just grabbed all that moisture over there. Just let it be, Sal. Set it up there. And the reason that we're doing this early is because we are going to the baseball game. We get to parade onto the field. This is going to be the best night ever, even if it is 150 degrees out there. So how I do this, just take a zucchini, cut off the top. If you want to like skin them and take some of the skin off, that's fine. I personally, when I eat it, like, I don't put the ones with all of the skin on into the lasagna, but I do like to munch on it. So I'm just gonna do this. I wanna bake this. Also beforehand, only because it really, when you do lasagna, at least when I do it, I mean, this recipe that I took and I kind of manipulated so that it was my own, really just called for lean beef. I am serious. I cannot eat a lasagna and only have beef. I mean, I have got to have some Italian sausage, otherwise known as the zizza, in my lasagna. If I'm gonna spend, I don't care if it's like 2 points. And seriously, I thought about this last night. I was like, oh my gosh, by using the zucchini as your noodle, you are saving so many points, which really, what is a noodle? I mean, my goodness, you could have a noodle anywhere, but you can't always have Italian sausage and ricotta cheese and yumminess and the richness. And I actually took some of my zugu, my meat sauce, out of the freezer, and that's what I'm kind of using. I'm mixing that with a little bit of store-bought marinara. That's a way that you can kind of keep the flavor, but also use some really good, yummy food, along with some store-bought. So that's what I'm doing over here. And I'm actually going to put a little piece of one of the, with a little bit of the skin, because I do like it. So I'm going to do a couple more of these guys. Always make sure that you don't cut your fingers, because that would hurt really bad. And when I was doing this, I was like, oh, you know what? I got to pull out my regular lasagna recipe, because I've made it many, many times, and it is so darn good. But I still have to check my recipe, because I got it from my mommy, and I have to check and see exactly how she layers it. Now, do you have to layer it perfectly? Do you have to have it, you know, noodle / zucchini, and then your sauce, and then I can't remember. See, I can't remember. I have to look it up. And I've already made some of these today so that I was prepared, so that I could taste it while you guys are on here. Okay, so I have mine, and some of these are already cooked, a little brown, but all of the rest, these are all freshly mandolined, is that a word? Freshly sliced through the mandolin, old school. I'm gonna put them in the oven on 400 for, like I said, about 15 minutes. Of course, I gotta do just 10 to start, because I always get nervous that I'm gonna burn it, and I would much rather not burn it and cook it for a little bit longer. So the next step, so I've already browned my zizza, because I did it last night, and that's really what prompted me to say, wow, I really could do my lasagna, because I already had zizza that I had to cook. So I've already cut it in half, because I made the lasagna prior to this. So what I have here is I have browned lean beef. It is 1/2 pound. And then I have about 1/2 pound, a little bit less, so that's less points, of my zizza. So I am going to mix these guys together. You never want to take meat that is hot, so that's why I had to do it ahead of time, because it is hot, but I'm gonna add some egg in there. And you never, ever, ever wanna add an egg, unless you want it scrambled, to any of your hot meat, because that would be really weird, because then it seriously would be scrambled. So I have that right here. I have 4 egg whites that I'm using. Typically I would use like a whole egg. Actually, I use like 4 or 5. This whole thing, maybe even more. But because it's low fat, I'm only using egg whites, and I'm only using 4 in this whole entire thing. So I also would typically add breadcrumbs. Hi, Crystal. But I'm not adding any breadcrumbs, because that's adding extra points. And oh my goodness, for 1 serving of this, which is 1/12 of this recipe, only 6 Weight Watcher points. I added it all up. I was really prepared. So I'm setting that aside. It is my zizza, lean, 93% fat-free, with a little bit, about 1 and about 2 egg whites, okay? Next, what I'm going to do, I'm gonna set that there, just kind of hang out, and it's waiting for me. The next step is I'm gonna take my ricotta cheese, otherwise known as ricotta, my ricotta cheese, and it's like part skim milk. Now, I don't know if you could see that, because I can't, I don't know if it's like because of the sun or whatever. So I have my ricotta cheese, and what I'm gonna do is I'm going to beat, because it's been bad, I get to beat something Believe me, I've been beating my kids. It is summertime, and they better know the rules. So I need my little beater guy. This isn't my favorite one though. Where is it? Oh, well, that's right. So I'm taking my other 2 egg whites and I'm putting it in with the ricotta cheese. And I'm just going to mix it. Very easy, okay? Next, and you beat it until it's creamy. You know, you don't want to see any lumps or anything like that. And you do want to cook this all the way through since it has eggs in there. You don't want to eat raw eggs. That's really gross. I mean, I work out a lot and I would never eat a raw egg. Blech. Okay. The next step is your Parmesan. I'm going to add, and you use 1/2 cup for this entire thing. So I want to add a little bit of Parmesan to my ricotta. And I also want to add a little bit of Parmesan just for flavoring. I know it's all going into the same thing, but I want to add a little bit to my meat as well. So then I'm just going to mix this up, and our, almost lost it, our mozzarella. This is also like part skim or whatever. I'm adding a little bit of that. I want to save some for the top. That doesn't seem like a lot, but seriously, it really does get proportioned out, and it's totally fine. Plus, you have the cheese everywhere else. So I'm going to mix that good. And then I'm going to mix these guys good again. And it may look a little dry, but I'm going to put my zugu / sauce on top. So it's not going to be dry. It's going to be, oh my gosh, it's going to be so good. And for 6 points, geez Louise. Okay, so I have my Damaro. On the ones that I did earlier, I actually used individual. So an individual loaf thing. I don't know what it's called. But on this one, I want to use the Damaro that is like real nice and big. So the first step, according to my mama, is, and look at it, isn't this beautiful? Yeah, that's my recipe. That is my real lasagna. He can't even read it. I can't even read it, and it's right in front of me. Okay, so I always want to double check. We do want to add a little bit of spice. Now, here's the deal, people. We have Zucchini in here, so you don't have to add a ton of spices. You want to add your salt and pepper. I'm adding it to both guys. And then I am going to add some Italian seasoning. I'm not going to really measure it out too much because I just don't like to do that. But it's about a tablespoon for the entire thing. And you know, or the entire pan or recipe. And you guys know I don't really 100% do it for real, but I tell you guys, and you have to make it your own. So it could be delicious, and make sure that you make it spicy or not spicy, however you want to do it. So here's my Zucchini. You know it's mine. Well, I'm sure other people do this too. But if you see in here, that's a rib tip. So with this rib tip, yum. I mean, it gives so much flavor and it is delicious. I could just sit here and chomp on the rib tip, but I'm not going to do that because that would be kind of gross. So I am taking, because this is not going to be enough sauce. So I'm just going to add, I hate to say it, some El Cheapo sauce to my wonderful, beautiful, very expensive, I might say, sauce, but that's okay. So we are going to layer this. Now, I'm not doing it, I was thinking about it, should I put it in a regular pan? I'd have to spray that sucker, and you know, it would be horrible to get it out of there. So I'm using my Damaro. It is round. I don't have a square or a rectangular one. So I'm just gonna throw this on here. And this is a scooper from like when I have my protein shakes. So you can recycle everything. Save some money, people. So I'm just layering that down. Usually I want to layer it and make sure that it's all over the place because it sticks really, really bad. But with my Damaro, it doesn't stick. So I'm just going to, now what I'm doing is I'm layering my zucchini down there. And I do not have enough. Of course I don't. So I'm going to take it out of here. It's probably not 100% done, but that's okay, because it's going to bake anyway. And to get that moisture out, honestly, just for our purposes, I just want to show you guys how to layer everything. And here is something else that's recycled. When I used to work at my old job, they had many, many, many events and free food all the time. And this was at my second to the last job. The one that I really enjoyed and got laid off. It's so sad when people get laid off. Okay, now I don't have enough of these to actually cover everything. Typically I would, but I just don't. And I'm going to show you my other finished product. So that's how pretty it is. And then next, so that's first your sauce, then your noodles, then you do your meat. And I want to show you and tell you guys the reason that you do your meat is because, you know what, I will just put it on there, because if I don't have a noodle on top, it's okay. But we do want to make sure that it's all at the bottom. Actually, I don't think my mom always put a noodle at the very top of her lasagna, so. And there is some meat in this sauce, because I do make meat sauce. I have made marinara before, and I will do it one day, but it is so hard to make sauce without meat. Okay, so, and I'm not kidding, even with the tzatziki, it is still only 6. When I was putting it all on there, and you just kind of dump it on here. When I was doing my points in the recipe on Weight Watchers, which Weight Watchers, seriously, the app, if you guys have done it, oh my gosh, it is so wonderful. So you can just throw all your ingredients on there. It does everything for you. But I saw like 27 points for the tzatziki. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is gonna be horrible. And then, you know, my gosh, it was so awesome. Because even though it was that many points, if you divide it in 2, that's only like, what, 2 points? I'm really bad with math. Directions and math, people, I'm so sorry. Sorry for the people who have to know me. Okay, so you just make sure that you, and Devin and Tatum, if you guys are watching, I will save you some of this so that you can taste it. And I will even bring it to your house, because that is just how nice I am. I know, isn't that amazing? Okay, so you're really supposed to use about 24 ounces or so of the meat, of the sauce. You could do marinara or meat sauce or mushroom, whatever you guys like. I mean, you know, you do it. So, also, I usually do my lasagna on 350, 400, depending. I like to do things on 400 because it kind of cooks it quick, and then I lower it. So that's just me. So then I have so you have your sauce, noodle, meat, sauce. Always put your sauce on top of your meat so that it gets that flavor and it's real nice and not dry, so it's moist. And then you do your cheese. I mean, seriously, people, this is gonna be so good. I'm really excited. Sorry, that was kind of rude. And look at this beautiful handle on this tomorrow. I know, so wonderful. Okay, so I need to kind of scrape it out of there. And that's what I'm doing. So then you kind of just, like, it's icing. And to me, this is actually better than, this is better than icing. I would rather have cheese than icing. Unless it was chocolate. But even chocolate icing is just not that good. Okay. So, and it's okay if your zugu slash sauce, if your zugu gets into your ricotta, because it's all gonna come together and be so happy, and it's so awesome. And if you guys remember, you can look at my website, www.mimiinthekitchen.com. I have a blog, which I was supposed to do yesterday, and of course I forgot. Life is getting way too busy. It's just so busy all the time. Okay, so there's the cheese. And then she says noodle, but I'm not doing it. because I don't have any. So I'm going to, and I probably will add it offline, but I am going to bake it just like this. I mean, look at how beautiful that is. And I'm going to bake it for about 20 minutes on 400. And then once that's done, I throw on my mozzarella cheese on top, okay? So that's what I'm going to do is I'm in the bottom oven and for 20 minutes. Okay, so I want to show you this finished product over here, which I could pick up by hand, but this is a DeMarle 9-loaf pan, and it makes just your individual servings. I did 6, and I'm telling you right now, there's way more than 6 servings in that other container. So this is actually probably less than 6 points. I do know that math. So whenever you have like a muffin pan or something like that you didn't fill all the way, fill the other empty ones with water, and it will help everything to cook more evenly. So that's a little tip for you. And then I am going to take out my very cute old school plate. And then I am going to grab some of this because I am starving. And look at how easy this, I swear, no, what do I call it? Grease, no, nothing, no flour. All right, and that is, so as you can see, this one has the zucchini on top right above the cheese layer. And then right above that, if you guys can see this, is the mozzarella layer. I mean, is that not, look at, is that beautiful? I am gonna have to take a picture of it. I know I'm silly, but I just can't help it. So I am going to taste this. And I'm really excited because I'll be honest with you. First of all, I've never had zucchini lasagna. And second of all, I've never made it. So I hope this is good. No, I'm sure it is. Creamy cheese and still tangy because you can taste like the Parmesan and the seasoning of the, Zazitza. I only get it at Sea Rollo Meat Market. I've tried it at every other place in town. Sea Rollo is where it's at when it comes to Zazitza. I'm gonna maybe try to make my own, but really good Zazitza because it still has that fennel, not too much of it, but it is darn good. So have a great summer day. And if you're going to the Cardinals game, we'll see you there. Bye-bye.